Hey, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. Hello from Making Connections with Aly. I hope everybody's having a good start of the weekend, and I'm excited. I just came back from a business trip, so I'm a little bit disoriented, still a little tired, but we always say the show must go on, right? And so I'm excited. You guys have seen Minister T Breeze on the show. He was part of the New Year's Eve concert. And so you've seen him on the show, but we're taking the time today to talk to him and about projects coming up and all kinds of stuff. So Minister T Breeze, welcome. How you doing today?
Doing well. Thank you for having me. Hope everybody's doing great.
Yes, I'm excited. So, like I said, I know people know you, but just in case this is the first time somebody in the family has met you, I just want to give you opportunity to tell a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to jump into all the good stuff you got going on.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm Minister T Breeze, MTB, Minister T Breeze, and I am a Christian hip hop artist amongst many other things. Yep, this is my sidekick right here, Deuce. He's hanging out with me. But I am a Christian hip hop artist, two-time Queen City Award winner, Best Male Gospel Artist of the Year. I'm a two-time author, also a DJ, photographer, the owner of Two Miracles Entertainment, actor. I think I'm leaving out some stuff, but amongst many other things, I do a lot.
Yes, yes. And that's what's so amazing to me. Like the guests that come on the show, I mean, you guys wear so many different hats. And sometimes I'm like, how did, because I know what it's like for me. And I'm just like, whew, I know I'm forgetting to do something. I'm forgetting to send somebody an email. So, with everything that you do, first of all, how do you balance it all?
It's called trying your best to keep everything on the schedule. Not always successful, but we try our very best to put everything to a schedule. And when doing that, like I say, so many hats. Sometimes things run in one with another. Sometimes you double book. Sometimes things just start overlapping. But we just do our very best to do the best scheduling as possible. Try to be uh, in a place where we're not just running with a head cut off.
And sometimes, and initially for me too, I was like, okay, I got this, da 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 da. But you're right. It's like if I don't write this down, if I don't get a calendar, if I don't, however, it's the best way for you to schedule, right? Some people put
Mhm.
it in their Google calendar, have a physical calendar, but it just helps your days go by and keeps you from being frustrated, right?
Yes, yes. We try to anyway.
Oh yeah, we gonna have those days, but
Mhm.
to the best of our ability.
Right.
So, first of all, I've just been interested in this title. I'm trying to pull it up, but it's the book. Are we banned from the women's conference? What happened?
Oh well, banned from women's conference. Actually, started out kind of as a joke. Just kind of joking. I was like, man, the women they just be on it, man. Y'all have like 16 conferences a year. Y'all got brunches, lunches, dinner parties, girls' night out. Say just so many different areas of ministry that women are just, locked into. And I was like, man, the men is slipping. We may get a men's brunch once a year, something
Maybe
like that.
Columbus
And the
Day or
women
something like
really be having time. The women come out filled with the Holy Ghost. They done been slain in the spirit. I'm just like, man, we just got to get together, fellas. I don't know what's going on, but it started as a joke. And I was just like, man, I just want to come to one conference. Let me do something. I just want to be a part. I just want to come hang out. So, banned from the women's conference was basically a joke, and it started. I was like, okay, well, hey, y'all won't let me in, so I'm just gonna have to sneak in. But that evolved into a book, and really, what we getting to talk about was a lot of the things that sometimes don't get introduced to the women's conference. So a lot of times, everybody has like a standard, and I'm not saying everybody does the exact same thing, but a lot of times we just got like three subjects we really deal with in our conferences, men and women. Usually, it's gonna be finance, it's gonna be relationships, and then it's going to be something to the point of working in ministry, fruits of the spirit, something like that.
Right.
So, that's like the main three. But it was like, what about all these other subjects and topics that we leave out?
And even with those three topics, there's so many levels that you can go into, even if you're on those three topics. There's so many levels to
Hmm.
relationships, church relationships, business relationships, family, so many levels we could take even those three topics. But you're right. It's a lot of stuff that happens in life, mental health,
Hmm.
diseases and sickness, all kinds of stuff that we could talk about.
Yes, yes. So, it wasn't a shot at anybody. It was just them saying, hey, we got a wide range of things that take place in our ministry. So we just want to make sure that we don't close the door and say, hey, these are the only things that we can work on, because ministry is not just for the individuals, for everybody. And so we have
Right.
to be mindful that while we know a lot of people that need financial advice, but we got a lot of people that's dealing with childhood hurt. We got a lot of people,
Mhm.
especially when we're talking about women. We have a lot of people dealing with child molestation. We have a lot of people dealing with physical abuse, domestic violence. We have all these different topics, and we don't want to leave anybody out. And so I was like, it's great to have a shout and good time, but let's make sure that everybody gets the help that they
Absolutely. And I completely agree with that because, it is so much. And, and it seems like the deeper it gets, the more vulnerable you have to be. And so I always
Yes,
tell people, it's gonna hurt when we start uncovering stuff, but that's okay. We can heal from it. We can, we've got to get to the root of it though, so that we can become our best selves, so we can flow in whatever aspect God has called us to flow in. You know,
yes,
we're not all called to minister like from the pulpit, but we're all called to minister in life, right?
yes, absolutely.
Just telling our story, telling about how good God has been.
That's what the word say. We overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So you right. You may not preach a sermon, but you may run into that one person that you can relate to, that one somebody. And my pastor used to always say, you'll reach people that I'll never reach. And it may not be people, it may be a person. And so we
Right.
have to be available to that one person. That one person may need our encouragement for that one time. And that'll be what God has intended for us to do.
Amen. Amen. So, with all the things that you do, what came first? Like, were you DJing? Were you ministering? And you kind of got into the music side? Were you writing? What came first?
I think it was music was first. When always good church music now. When always sanctified music. We was talking about all the clubs and the women and all that, those type of things. But that was the lifestyle that I was in at the time. And
Right.
so when God changed my heart, I felt very convicted to try to stay with those topics. And so from there, I struggled for a while how to use my new lifestyle, my newfound faith, and bring that into music. Because at first I was just like, it's whack. Ain't nobody gonna listen to this. I can't really, I can't do it the same way I did the old music. It just didn't seem that it fit. And I struggled for a while until God gave me confidence to be able to tell my story through music. And
Mhm.
so making that change from talking and bragging about the old things I used to do, and now making things relatable in Christ.
Mm, listen, it takes us all a minute to, go through that transition and, how do we talk? What do we say around the friends that we used to, maybe talk about stuff that we shouldn't have been talking about, and we're trying to
Right.
still be friends, but tell them I don't really want to discuss that anymore. It's a transition, and it's a process, and everybody has to go through it. And so, I just encourage everybody just to keep going. Take it one day
Yes.
at a time. Don't, the Bible says there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. So if
Mhm.
you're trying, He knows where you are. He knows where you're trying to go. So just keep going, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Be confident in what the ability Christ has given us. We have to be confident.
So sometimes it's hard for a person to do. Like, how did you get there? How did you be like, okay, this is confidence is where it is, and confidence is where I need to be? How did you get there? Because sometimes, we feel it, like when we're
Mhm.
praying and we're empowered, but then like when we have to go out and face the world or face somebody on Facebook Live, it's like, Never mind, I'll do this later. how did you how did you get to that place?
Oh, wow, it's a lot of trial and error. I knew I was called to do so many different things, or even preaching, delivering sermons, music,
Mm.
all those things. And so it was like it was a battle within myself. It's like, I don't think nobody's listening. I really don't think anybody's gonna get it. And so, like I said, there's a lot of trial and error. And then it was those times where it felt like nobody was listening, but then that one person would reassure me, say, "Hey, man, I heard." Everything you said, it was good. I loved it. You don't know it, you were speaking to me. God sent you that was confirmation for me. And that one person would encourage me to continue because it usually took place when I was like, all right, I'm just not gonna do it no more. I'm just, nobody's getting it. And as soon as I say that, that one person just come out of nowhere and they was like, man, I was all the way in the back and I heard everything you said. So man, I just want you to know God sent you just for me. And I was just like, well, see, I'm trying to quit, but he keeps sending folk. And every time I say I'm gonna quit, it's one person pop up.
Ain't that the truth? Because I ain't gonna lie. There's some days I'm like, I'm through with making connections. It's been a good run, but it's just time to close up, maybe do something else. And then somebody will inbox you and be like, I know I don't comment, I don't say a lot, but I've been watching your shows. I'm like, you have? Really?
Mhm.
I don't even see your name pop up or nothing, but they
Right.
say they've been watching and they give you evidence they've been watching because they give you a topic or a statement somebody made. And you're like,
Mhm.
oh, okay, then, cool. Let's do this again next week.
All right. Try one more time, Lord. I'm trying one more time. They don't say nothing. I'm done. And then here they come.
Right. But so that just encourages, hopefully somebody who's out there listening to us today that, even if it doesn't look like you're making a difference, know that somebody is watching. Somebody is tuning in. Maybe they can't tune in for the whole time you're there because they got other stuff going on.
Mhm.
They're trying to make transitions in their life, but know that whatever God has purposed you for, oh, he's already got the plan laid out. He's going to put the people in your path. He's going to put the clientele you need, whatever it is. So I just want to be encouraged.
Absolutely.
So tell us about two miracles entertainment, right?
Yes, absolutely. True Miracles Entertainment is my entertainment company. So basically, all of my endeavors are branched under one umbrella of True Miracles Entertainment. Everything from music to being an author, to being DJ, artist,
Okay.
actor, all those wonderful things branched under True Miracles Entertainment, which was inspired 2018. A great friend of mine, Aly Johnson, told me to say, stop holding all this stuff you got inside of you and let it out. And so she encouraged me to write my first book. She also encouraged me to step out on faith and to, produce and finance my own stuff. Stop kind of waiting on other people to come in
Yeah.
and do stuff for you. You got all the tools, you have the knowledge, just go out there and get it. So I was inspired by her and many others with Two Miracles Entertainment, which is named after my children because they are two miracle babies. And so Two Miracles Entertainment is where it came out of that.
Awesome. Yes. I
Mhm.
love the brand, and the name, and it's cool that you can put everything under that brand, and so like with the writing, and I always am interested in each artist's journey, but like when you're writing, how does it flow for you? Is it like seasonal, situational, or do you get visions in the shower? What's that process like?
Um, it's all of those wrapped into one. Like we talked about earlier, being busy, I just have to sit down long enough to put the idea down. Sometimes I put down a thought and come back to it later. Sometimes I start writing and I can't stop. Sometimes I'm in there for a couple of hours and it's two, three chapters, then kicked out. So a lot of times, I just have to be obedient to what's flowing at the time. And I found out that
Mm.
even if it's only for a few minutes, once I come back to it, God will bring that memory, that thought right back. And then when I do have the time to sit down and really dig into it, it just starts flowing. It's been bubbling, it's been growing inside of me. But I have to at least start the process, because if I think, okay, well, I'll wait or I'll do it later. And if I don't at least put the thought down, then I usually lose it. And then I'll be like, oh, I was going to say something. What was I going to say again? And it's just gone.
I know they'd be like, and it was good. I just knew I wouldn't forget it because it was so good. And
Mhm.
then you're like, well, maybe next time.
Right.
Awesome. So tell us about the song Different. I think that's one of the songs we're going to be playing today. And so as Alan is preparing that, just kind of let us know a little bit about that.
Okay, well, the song different came from a good bunch of people down there in Atlanta, Georgia, good friends of mine called Made for Christ. I got an opportunity to meet these wonderful group of people because there's a whole bunch of them. It's a lot of them, and I got to meet them a few years ago through social media actually, and they reached out. I reached out, we linked up to do. Um, Ministry for our summer convocational uh, installment with our apostles, and we wanted to do something special for the youth because youth be like, I don't know what all this stuff is y'all doing for convocation, and so we wanted to include the
Right.
youth, and so they came out and they did a wonderful concert, and I love their music and message through ministry, and so I got the opportunity to link up with this great group of people who produce, write, perform all their own music, and I got a chance to link up with them. And the track is actually produced by a young man, ATL Beats, Mr. Giovanni, who at the time was like 18 years of age, young man, produced an awesome track, just awesome in music. And so me, him, and a young man by the name of Chosen got together, and the title "Different" literally means that when you're a saved man or woman, you look at things different, you operate different. And so the hook of the song says, things hit different when you saved, because being saved, you just look at the world completely different. Things that
Mhm.
were just, I guess, the common thing to do for everybody else, don't always work out that way for us. And that's okay, because God calls us to be separate. And we're okay with being separate because when you save, things just don't line up like everybody else.
Right. Right. Awesome. So, guys, stay tuned. We're about to listen to the song Different by Minister T Breeze.
Uh-oh,
I
I
gotta
lost the.
have this
All right.
one made up. ATL with another. It's hitting different all the way, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about.
I don't care what you thought, I don't care what you say. It hit different when you know you say. I don't care what you thought, I don't care what you say. It hit different when you know you say. It hit different, it hit different, it hit different, different, different. It hit different, it hit different, it hit different, different. It hit a little bit different, especially when you say, but you got killer instinct. With a little bit of Mike Tyson and a little bit of Incredible Hulk, that's 6'6". Or like when super thick, they walk in the room and you're like, oh God, wanna hit. Or like when you get busted in the head by big break, cause you ain't paying attention. Then that hit a little different, don't that feel a little different? For the good, I'm different, so why you acting different? Is it cause I got deliverance from the magnificent, now I got benefits? Hit a little different, don't it? And that's why you hating, homie. I don't care what you thought, I don't care what you say. It hit different when you know you say. I don't care what you thought, I don't care what you say. It hit different when you know you say. It hit different, it hit different, it hit different, different, different. It hit different, it hit different, it hit different, different.
I'm the hope, but today I'm just David Banner. I'm too legit with a Falcons jersey, man, I'm MC Hammer. 12 watching me, got me on they body camera. But I'm watching them and got my phone on panorama. I be everywhere, I mean everywhere. I got work to do, I'm never in my pastor chair. I shame the devil like somebody seen his underwear. Covered in the blood like Under Armour, got endorsements there. They don't like my music, what they talking about? I'm not lyrical enough, they say I'm too soft. It's that southern slang that helped the gospel come out. And I don't care what they say, I keep his praises all in my mouth.
I don't care what you thought, I don't care what you say. It hit different when you know you say. Don't care what you thought, don't care what you say. It hit different when you know you say. It hit different, it hit different, it hit different, different, different. It hit different, it hit different, it hit different, different. Know you say.
Yes, I love it. Great job. It hits different. I don't care what you say. You were so right. When you get saved, you give your life to Christ. You're trying to change. Everything hits different. Every relationship, again, the way you talk, the way you interact with people, and even the scripture is really good because there's this I may be paraphrasing it, y'all might not get it right, but it's okay to be angry but sin not, you know and so even stuff like that. And initially, until I was reading the Bible and studying for myself, I was like, if I would get mad, I would think, oh my gosh, I'm not a Christian. I'm not supposed to get mad. I'm just supposed to love everybody and have a great day and smile all the time. But it's not like that, right? Uh-oh, Minister T Priest left me, but he will be back, I'm sure. But what I was saying was, when you first get saved, you think everything's supposed to change, and it does. But at the same time, you're still a person. You still have feelings. Hey, JT, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Just tuning in to a great show. I mean, y'all dropping a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, T Breeze, welcome back. But what I was saying is that, when you first get saved, you think that everything is just you're supposed to be so nice and kind, and you are developing that vein or whatever, but you're still a person. You still have feelings.
Mhm.
You still have emotions. You still hurt. You still get disappointed. You still get looked over for promotions, and so it's just you can have those feelings and emotions, but don't let those emotions overtake you, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Don't never forget that you're still a person. We're still flesh and bones. We still just like everybody else. We got a few benefits though. We got a few benefits in the Lord, but we still got to go through with everybody
Right, right. And that's why those women's conference and men's conferences are so important, because we're talking about those things that people go through in life, even as a
else.
Christian. And so, and that's just real life. Our tires are gonna blow out on the highway, or we're
Mhm.
gonna need a new set. It's just part of life. We didn't say that, because it was gonna have trials and errors, right? In life, we're gonna have tribulation, but we know
Yeah,
that God has overcome that. So yeah. So I like the music, and I like the fact that you're telling it's gonna hit different. Where you might have cussed when the tire blew out. Now you just like, okay, I'm thankful I didn't, get hurt. And so
right.
your attitude, your mindset is different. And I think that's what we have to be. I think so many people get frustrated in life right now. You know, what would be something that you would tell them, especially when you're talking about the youth? What is
Mhm.
something you tell them, because they deal with so many things that we didn't deal with? So,
Right.
what are some of the messages that you give them?
I always try to tell the youth, especially when I'm dealing with youth, that a lot of times the bridge that we have trouble crossing is that we're trying to find a way to relate to the youth, and they're trying to find a way to relate to us. And so, like I said, so many different things that we just didn't have to deal with when we were their age, and then some of the things we did deal with when we were their age. And so, the thing that I always try to encourage youth is that listen. If we don't get it right today, as long as the Lord give us tomorrow, if He wake us up tomorrow, we got another opportunity to try this thing out. We got another opportunity to get it right. So yes, like I said earlier, we're gonna hurt. We're gonna go through a lot. We're going to have things that are just going to shake our faith. But the main thing we have to remember is that God is in control of every single thing. And if He woke us up this morning, He gave us one more opportunity to figure this thing out. He gave us. He ain't done with us yet. Grandma used to say he ain't done with me yet. So if He gave me another opportunity, I'm still hurting. I'm still going through. What I always encourage, I say, listen, find you somebody that you can lean on. If it's another youth, if it's an adult, if it's a mom with them, grandmama and them, we have a great tool in social media. I know social media gets such a bad rap, but we have a great way to network and connect with people with shows like this, with podcasts and things like that. Find someone to lean on, because again, if God gave us one more day, we have an opportunity to work this thing out. I always use Noah as an example. Noah was building the boat, and they ain't seen rain in 100 years. Can you imagine what he had to go through? Can you imagine the way people talked about him? Can you imagine how people looked at him? And Noah wasn't taking no days off. Noah was working
Right.
diligently. He was going in sun up, sun down. He was working, and they ain't seen rain in 100 years. They ain't seen rain. Don't even look like rain. Ain't no clouds. Ain't nothing. But he kept working. He stayed at it. And when the rain finally showed up, everybody, oh, I guess Noah ain't crazy like we thought he was. He might know something. He might know the Lord for real. But I just tell everybody, I say, listen, if it take 100 years, Job said it like this. He said, if it take all days of my appointed time, I will wait until my change comes. And that's what we're waiting on. We're waiting for the Lord to turn around. We wait for him to make a way out of no way. We wait for him to open doors that no man can shut. But it may take a while. It might not happen right away. So we have to be encouraged that if the Lord keep waking me up, then I still got a chance to get that open door.
Amen. Amen. Come on. Did y'all see that minister in front of them? The sea breeze. And you're right. I mean, because it's so true. Life happens, and just thinking about Noah, like you said, I know people were like, "Is he crazy? Spending all that money on those resources? How big is he gonna make the boat? I mean, he don't got but 10 people in his family. Why is he making it so big? I mean, I can really imagine what he went through, during that time. But like you said, he didn't waver though. He stayed committed to what the Lord had shown him. He stayed committed to his purpose. And sometimes that's what it's like. People don't understand, well, why do you want to quit this corporate job and do podcasts? Why do you
Mhm.
want to? Big shout out to my bro MTB JT. He was on the show just a minute ago. He might pop back in. And people may not understand your vision. They may not
Mhm.
understand why you're moving the way you move. They may not understand the shift. Why is she leaving all her family to go to Texas or whatever? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But if God has given you the vision, trust God. And it won't may
Absolutely.
not be easy every day, but keep trusting him, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think JT, I don't know if he's still with us or not. He was on the screen because he was trying to show some support. But Alan, if he comes back in, just pop him back in there. And so I know you have another song, and I think it's called "Give It All Away." Correct?
Give it to God.
Give it to God. Okay. So give it to God. Tell us a little bit about that before we hear that one.
All right. Well, give it to God. Another awesome song and instrumental produced by ATL Beats. It's my man Giovanni down in ATL from Made for Christ. The song "Give It to God" literally is, I'm old man at heart. You know what I'm saying? I hear all the grandmama sayings. Grandma used to say, when you leave that altar, don't you go back and pick it up. Let the Lord work on it. So
Right.
literally this song kind of hints to that. We all gonna have faults. We're all gonna have our moments. The Bible say that we all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. And so like we were talking about being encouraged, not letting those things hinder us from continuing and trusting and believing God. And so the song "Give It to God" is literally that, saying whatever you give to the Lord, just let him have it. Let him work on it. Take your hands off of it. Stop trying to fix stuff that wasn't meant for you to fix. Stop trying to do. Just stop doing stuff. Just that, once we give it to God, let Him have it. I mean, that's literally a struggle for all of us at some point,
Yes.
because you know, uh, me, a man of many talents, and I understand the talent came from the Lord, but a lot of times I'm trying to fix stuff that the Lord is not intending for me to fix. He's like, okay, I can't do anything until you let it go. And so I have to give it to him. And giving it to him literally means you have to take your hands off of it, because if you're still holding on, he can't work on it, because it's still you. It's still a part of you. So you have to give it to God, is what the song literally says. Just let it go, give it to God, and let him have
Hmm. I was just thinking about somebody building something not quite like Noah, but sometimes when you're trying to put something together and it be two or three of you trying to put it together and one is
it.
doing something and the other one turn around and say, "No, I don't think it go that way," and they flip it upside down. You're like,
Mm,
"Well, it's not working." And so that's just my image of what I was seeing when you were talking about that, because God is trying to work it, and we're like, "Well, Lord, I think if we turn it a little bit here, or I think if we long
yeah.
this day, or if we do this
Hey, this little two part right here. Let me throw
right,
this in there. And I'm like,
right."
just get out of the way. Let me do
So let's hear give it all to God so we can be encouraged and remind ourselves, listen, once we give it to him, let's trust him to take it all the way, right? So Alan,
it.
if you'll
Yes.
play that song, and we'll be right back. Y'all stay. We'll be back with more with Minister T Breeze.
I can't make it on my own, Lord. I need you. If I'm gonna make it home, Lord, if you don't lead the way, I may go straight. And I don't wanna make no more mistakes. No, I failed you so many times before, but still, you told me that I was yours. Lord, I owe you more than I can repay. So I'm starting with my life today. I give you my life today, 'cause you deserve it. Oh, I'm giving my heart away. I know I'm the one that I can't pay. I can't perpetuate it. No, 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 no. Lord, I give you my life today, 'cause you deserve it. Oh, I'm giving my heart away. You're more than worth it. That I can't pay. So glad you made a way by giving me mercy and your grace. I know I'm no good on my own, but with you, I'm more than a conqueror. I can speak to the storm and the storm after seas. The power of your name destroys the enemy. You've been my redeemer and my friend. When I had none, you pulled me through. When nothing else would do. So I'm giving everything that I am to you. I give you my life today, 'cause you deserve it. Oh, I'm giving my heart away. I know the worth it that I can't pay. So glad you made a way by giving me mercy and your Lord, I'm giving you my life today, 'cause you deserve it. Oh, I'm giving my heart away. You're more than worth it that I can't pay. So glad you made a way by giving me mercy. Know everybody on the stage now. I give it, I give it, I give it. I give it all away. I give it, I give it, I give it. Everything I am, yeah. I give it, I give it, I give it. Everything I'll ever be. I give it, I give it, I give it. Lord, I give it all to you. I give it, I give it, I give it. 'Cause you've been my friend, yeah. I give it, I give it, I give it. When I didn't have no friend. I give it, I give it, I give it. You pulled me through. I give it, I give it, I give it. Hey, everything I am. I give it, I give it, I give it. And everything I'll be. I give it, I give it. Everything I ever have. I give it, I give it, I give it. I give it all. I give it all. I give it all. I give it all. I give it all.
All right. Listen, I was kind of getting into that meditative state on that one. I was like, yes. And so, this is what I like about making connections. Like, we can flow in so many different areas. If you're an artist, if you are author, whatever, and spiritually, whatever, we just flow. And so, the thing about it, that song, I just kept thinking was, a lot of times, and I'm talking about myself, I thought I was giving it to God, but at the same time, I was worrying about it, and I was reminding him, well, what's up?
Mm.
Can I get a status report and all this stuff? So I didn't really give it to him because I was still not seeing a change. And so I was like, well, maybe, he was over there working with Minister T Breeze, but I didn't even come back over here. And so I wasn't really giving it to him. I wasn't really trusting him with it. And there are times when I gave a little bit of it, but not all of it, because I can
Mhm.
handle this part, but you do this part, I'm gonna get this part. And so I found in this life, in these many years that I have gone through this path, whew, either I'm gonna give it or I'm gonna keep it. And so,
Amen.
and if I'm gonna give it to him, I'm gonna trust him with it. If he don't bring it back to my door, it ain't for me. If he don't,
Amen.
sometimes he can change stuff around and bring it back to you, but it looks completely different. It's not the same. He's not gonna
Hmm.
bring you that same thing that's tearing you down, that's weighing you
Hmm.
down. He's going to do it differently. That's God. And so we have to trust him and we have to flow with his flow. We have to know that he has our best interest at heart, right? More so than man, more so than my best friend, more so than my mom. He knows.
Hmm.
So take it from there, Minister T Breeze. I get excited sometimes.
You preaching good. You preaching good. Let me see how the Lord works. That's all wonderful, wonderful stuff right along the lines of the song. But we have to make sure we do this correctly because, again, we talked about me being a man of many talents and how the schedule get mixed up. In my haste, I sent y'all the wrong song.
Oh,
So that actually is Minister Jamar, Pastor Jamar Harris out of Salisbury. And look at how the Lord worked, how them songs went together. He was talking about giving it away, and I sent y'all the wrong song for my give it away, but it all went together. So we definitely want to shout out Pastor Harris. That is
yeah.
Pastor Jamal Harris's song, not mine. Please don't hit me up talking about, oh, I didn't know you could sing. The Lord did not bless me with those talents. Do not call me to sing, lead, praise, and worship. None of that. I am a rapper. Let me stay in my lane. The Lord did not give me those talents, but I can put you in touch with Pastor Harris. But it's wonderful how the Lord worked that out, and all that went right together. So my
Yeah.
song that I messed up and sent y'all the wrong song. My song is "Give It to God," which is right along those same lines. Look at how the Lord worked that out. We ain't even have to
Mhm.
change lanes. We stand right there. We give it away, and
Right.
it's awesome, powerful, wonderful. How a lot of times that's our struggle. That's our flesh. The Bible says the flesh and the spirit is always at war. They're contrary one to the other, and in our flesh we just be like, man, I feel like I can do something. I can help in some kind of way. And the Lord is like, no, this ain't for you. You had your turn. He'll let you know when he needs you to
Right.
do something. But this ain't it. You all in the way. So go ahead and get your hands off of it. Just give it to him.
Exactly. And trust me, you will find a different outcome and it will be better beneficial for you, your family, and everybody around you. And I know it's hard sometimes, but you just gotta do it. And
Mhm.
it wasn't easy for us initially. We have, like Minister T Breeze keeps saying, trial and error. We tried it
Mhm.
this way, we tried it that way, but we finally found the solution for us. And so you got to find that solution and that route, that way that you can give it to God and let Him do it, right?
Absolutely.
And so JT, I see you back on the screen. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I definitely had to come through and show my brother NTB some love. It's an amazing show. I've watched a lot of it. Sometimes you just have to sit back and watch what God is doing in the atmosphere. And here, making Connection TV today is a powerful gems and message that's being, facilitated by both Aly and MTB. And I just want to come through, man, and give you flowers. I'm blessed to been able to collaborate with you on events and two songs that we got out. You know what I'm saying? In the atmosphere, Christmas is up and in
Mhm.
this life. And
So
look for
far, we got
more
we got more
collaboration,
songs.
you know what I'm saying, with you. But Ms. Ali, I just want to say, MTB, from the time that I met this brother, it's been nothing but an absolute blessing to my life. A man of God, a family man, an example of what you're supposed to be as a man in this life, and somebody that definitely young men and women should be looking to and looking up to, because he's giving you the ingredients to be successful in this life. And you know, they're not. Sometimes we miss the mark. Sometimes where it pertains to that. But MTB, you were doing things on a whole other level, and there's nothing outside of trying to be nothing but authentically you. So I want to salute you, man, and thank God for your place as a brother in my life, and for just the example that you continue to show. You know what I'm saying, to all the people that you're able to touch, man. Keep doing your thing. You always got, what I'm saying, my support, and I just, I'm thankful for the place that you have in my life, my brother.
Absolutely, absolutely. I appreciate that, my brother. And that's one of those brothers I was talking about. That's one of them brothers, like, we was talking about earlier. You got to have somebody in your corner,
Mhm.
and it's not always just business or ministry. JT is a real solid brother. Sometimes he just hit me up, just like, hey man, I just want to see how you doing. I don't want nothing. I'm just checking on you. And then, we need that. I think that's more important than our business connection that we have, or our ministry connection that we have. Knowing that when somebody says, you're that brother, they truly see you that way and treat you that way. If we had more like that, I think a lot of the things that we go through as adults and youth would be so much easier knowing you had somebody that you can lean on.
And that is so true because, and that authentic connection is what even makes the business connection better because
Hmm.
we were come from an authentic place. We've grown here. We trust each other. I know you're not trying to outshine me. I'm not trying to outshine you. I know we're just working this together because God has something for us to do. And so we're going to
Hmm.
do it so that it impacts other people, so that it helps somebody else along the way. And
Absolutely.
I honestly think, with the youth, a lot of times, even what you were talking about with make sure we don't leave things out of the conferences for the youth, we got to really dig deep and talk to them
Hmm.
about real life stuff. What's going on with the drugs, with the pressure, peer pressure you're feeling, and things like that. I think when we show up authentic and real and from a place of love, it just helps everybody along the way. It builds the family, and makes the family stronger, right?
Absolutely.
So, with your music and with you and JT, doing stuff together, you know, what's your vision, for Two Miracles Entertainment? Like, what's coming up next? Where do you want it to grow to?
Oh wow! Eventually, I would love to see Two Miracles Entertainment just to be a avenue for different forms of ministry. I know we have 100,000 churches everywhere. Like, we joke, but we're serious. You can find church on every corner, and on every block it's like six of them, and don't nobody know each other. A lot of times, we have a lot of churches, and a lot of us have the exact same routine. We have our morning worship, we have our Bible studies, we have our Sunday school, and those are all great tools, all great ways to learn and get to know God. But there are so many different avenues for people who just don't do the traditional church setting. Some people get it through forms of entertainment. Not saying that we do entertain, but we can use that avenue as a way of ministry. Whether we do it through movie, whether we do it through film, music, whatever the case may be. I love being in the community, so I love community events. I love being able to engage with people, new walks of life who don't have the church etiquette. Nothing wrong with church etiquette, but I like people who, when they express themselves, they cuss a little bit, because I know you being honest. I know you really telling me how you feel. I'm
Right.
okay with that, and that's a place that I've prayed my way into. God has helped me to understand people on their level and not to be judgmental. Like, hey man, don't you know
Right.
such and such and such, you can't talk to me like that. No, if a person is truly open up and express themselves, they may not know another way to speak. They may not know another way to communicate. That's God's job. That's His job to change them, to change the heart, to change the mouth, to change the language. That's not my job. My job is to bring whatever ministry He had me to bring forth at that time. So I would really love to see Two Miracles Entertainment in a place of mobility. We can just pull up at any city, any park, any rec center, and just have a full-fledged different form of ministry, whether it's music, whether it's film, whether it's some form of activity. I love sporting events. We can bring the DJ out, we can bring some good music, some rappers, some singers, have a good basketball game, and at the end of the day, praise God, everybody go home, everybody's still alive, nobody got shot because you stepped on their shoes, and just have positive, motivational. We can pull up and do a cookout. I don't really care what it is, but I just love being a place of mobility, so that when people will call and say, "Hey, uh, we got a bunch of youth over here doing nothing," let Two Miracles pull up and do something. Be able to do that something for the community.
Awesome. I love it. that's what we need, because sometimes that's where, we get idle and things start happening. And, we're out there showing them love, showing them that there's a better way, showing them that it's okay. I mean, that's where you're from, that's what you do. We kind of had that
Mm,
situation during, I think it was Easter at my mom's house. And I have a cousin that was cussing, and people was like, "Don't talk like." I was like, "Listen, let me just tell y'all this. God already knows this person. He knows this how he talk. He don't mean no harm to nobody. That's just how he talk. I mean, but we're making a big deal out of it. God is
mm.
not. So let's just can we eat and just fellowship and keep on moving, right?
Right.
Listen, cause I'm pretty sure if we got y'all a little more juiced up, somebody else in here
Mm.
gonna be cussing. So let's
Yeah, don't take much now. You get the wrong topic of discussion now. I heard them old sayings come out your mouth. We tell us who you really used to be.
right, exactly. So and that's what I think. A lot of people they think they got to show up perfect in whatever situation. They got to show up perfect at church. They got to show up perfect in their business. They got to show up perfect as a mother or a father. But some days you're just not gonna be able to do it. Some days you're gonna just like, look, Dad, you take over because Mom today is checking out. And that's
Right.
okay. You got to take those moments to reflect and to refresh yourself and to get back to that place. Sometimes I think we don't want to. We think that the world's gonna just collapse if we take a moment or two, maybe 2 days for yourself. But you have to do that. How important? I'm gonna ask you, Minister T Breeze, and then you, JT. How important is it to take those days and those moments for yourself?
Extremely important. I mean, for me, rest is the biggest thing. I learned the hard way. It's hard to pour out when you don't have nothing to pour. It's hard. We hear it all the time. Ministry in itself can be a burnout for you. If you keep constantly going and you constantly the go-to person for Sunday morning, Wednesday night, Saturday afternoon, what is it? Mother's ministry, singles ministry, marriage ministry. If you the person that's always got to have a hand in something, you can very easily get burned out. And so you definitely need rest. You definitely need a team of people to
Mm,
assist. And so once you understand
mm,
how to delegate tasks and just know, hey, take your hands off. Like we just talked about, give away, take your hands off here, and let some other people do some stuff. It's very vital to ministry, to business, to every area of your life. You have to be able to get a little bit of rest, to be able to pull back. Even for me, I'm always lining things up, one thing after the other, and sometimes God has set it up where somewhere be a kink in there somewhere, and I
right.
have to pull back. And I'd be like, I think that was a setup. I think the Lord trying to tell me to sit down somewhere. Let me go sit down before I mess around and get beat. I get chastised in the spirit or something. So let me go ahead and take this break that God has orchestrated in such a miraculous way by putting a kink in my plan and
Right.
making it so I can go sit down somewhere.
Amen. And JT, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's both on point. It's you gotta be able to listen to that message. God is always talking to those that can hear, what I'm saying, the sound of his voice and the message that he's pouring into you. And the biggest thing that I get more so than anything is you gotta know when to sit down. You gotta know,
Mm,
what I'm saying, when to delegate and
Hmm.
to understand why you have a team, why it's more than you. The S on your test is more so of the saying, but you can't execute the biggest form of that purpose without understanding your why. So if you understand how to navigate through and how to tag team and do things and understand this not just about you. It is about what I'm saying, running the formation, the team. I'm a sports addict, so I'm always thinking about play. Just looked at something about the formation of the pick and roll, the execution of the pick and roll, the understanding when to roll to the basket and exactly when to pass the ball. That is fundamentally what this life is all about. Understanding how to
Hmm.
do that, when to do it, and how to score each and every play down. That's how you execute in this life. And I take that mentality into everything that I do. You come out the timeout knowing that you got the perfect play that you're gonna saying that you're going to score. And so keeping the mentality of every time, every minute, every second, maximizing what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. And if it's resting to its full potential and understanding that there are days off, even when people don't think you got days off. There are days off, but those are the times that you are refreshing, renewing, and getting ready for the next and what's up next. And my thing was you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. And that also
Mhm.
involves taking care of yourself, self care, self love, and understanding what it takes to be the best version of you every day. And rest is essential, but it's also essential to be able to meditate and keep the mind fresh so that you can execute and be, like I said, the best version of yourself. So MTB, you hit it on the head. Allie, you did as well. I'm just coming through to go ahead and score the layup and let you know in this life, you
Mhm.
got to understand sleep is your best friend, meditation is your best friend, and prayer is essential
Yes.
to
Mhm.
be able to put all those things together and make that play work for
Absolutely. All those things work together for your good. Trust me. So, and it's good to lean on your team. Make sure you build a team that you can trust in. Like if I need to be off for a day, I know I can call JT and be like, listen, can you fill in for me? Or can you jump on for 10 minutes until I, you know, finish my meeting or whatever? So, it's good to have a team that you can trust. And, sometimes you have to shift that team up sometimes, and that's okay. But when you built it strong and God is sent, and see, like really, God built this team because God sent JT my way. I didn't know who he was, so when God does it, he knows the people, he knows what skills they possess that's going to work for what you're doing and what he has you to do. So, I just think we keep saying, if you're not in tune with God, maybe you've taken some time away from him. Maybe it's time to go back there. Maybe it's time to get back to studying his word or praying. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't try to, shift everything at one time. Take one aspect, whether it's reading his word, whether it's just talking to him, meditating, whether it's listening to gospel music and music that like Minister T Breeze makes, with those positive messages. But get back to that place where your flow, you know, is there again, where you're feeling unstoppable, you're feeling the confidence, and you can trust God through it all. So, Minister T Breeze, before we go, is there anything else you'd like to share? You got any other music coming out soon? You're going to be in the community? And also tell us a little bit about your videography and your photography business.
So we definitely have projects coming now, working right now, very diligent. Again, it's one of those things God put the hiccup in for us to slow down. Project 40-year-old rapper is definitely almost there. We like right there, like right there. So definitely more music coming. Definitely be in the community at any and every event we can get our hands on. Uh, Video art, photography. Definitely look us up. Two Miracles Entertainment on Facebook. Two Miracles ENT on Instagram. DJ services available as well. We love being in the community. I know we would definitely be in Charlotte on the 13th, DJing for God's Gift Baby Ministries here out of Charlotte, who's going to bless single mothers and young infant children who have needs of formula, pampers, and things like that. So I'll be there providing DJ services, getting the crowd all into it. We'll do a whole bunch of line dancing and have a good time. That's also coming up May the 20th in Concord, North Carolina. I got the opportunity to connect with the wonderful young lady by the name of Nicole Davis, domestic violence survivor, me to write and direct her very first stage
Oh, nice.
in Concord, North Carolina, May the 20th. And I'm sure there's a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm forgetting. I have to go back to my calendar and check it out. But for right now, that's what we got going on.
Y'all follow him on social media so y'all can keep up and like his pages and just keep so you can stay abreast of where he is and what he's doing. He gave you all his social media handles if you want to reach out to him. You'd like for him to come to one of your events. to be a speaker, a DJ, photographer, whatever it is, definitely reach out to him. And also, you can find his music on all streaming platforms, right? T Breeze.
That is correct. Just search MTV Minister T Breeze. I know we're on all the major platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, anything else that I don't really know about. But I know it's out there. It's on all those places.
All you got to do is Google him. He'll come up. Is your hype man going to be with
Yes.
you?
Always, always, y'all. I would be remiss if I didn't tell y'all that TJ, 6 years old, little Deuce, is working on his very first song. So y'all be on the
Okay.
lookout. Straight A student, and I promised him he does great in school. He could do his own song. So he has a song on the way with music video and all. So y'all be on the lookout.
Yes, I'm excited. We got to come back and talk about it when it happens.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm sure he'll be ready to talk your head off.
JT, you got anything you like to say before we go?
Nah, this big shout out to my bro MTB. Again, just continuing to set the bar and the example for what it's supposed to be. That's just simply amazing, man. What you just said. You give them something. You know what I'm saying, to work for, and there they go. They come through with flying colors, man. That is truly amazing. And to make that announcement here on Making Connections TV today, that is just super dope, man. I can't wait to check it out. Can't wait for the interview. Definitely want to be a part of that as well. And I just want to say, hey, you know what? Tap somebody, tell somebody, inspire somebody. Let somebody know you love them. You know what I'm saying? You have an impact. You don't know what kind of impact that you can have on a person today just by saying, how you doing? I love you. I was just thinking about you. I got you in my prayers. Not because of something going on, just because you was on my mind. Let somebody know that today. You never know what kind of impact you have in your life. Just on Fourth Mondays, I will be back on Fourth Mondays, inspirational impact here on Making Connections TV with Aly. Don't miss it, coming real soon. Big shows coming up on Mondays at 2 p.m. and Saturdays at noon. Don't miss Aly, Making Connections TV. Big shows coming up. Shout out again and much love to my guy MTB. I'm saying, bro, you're doing big things, man. Super proud of you. Salute, man, from Poet JT.
Absolutely. Really kudos because I did not know you was doing all the things you was doing. And it's so funny. I think one of you mentioned it before is like how things come together because I've seen your name. I think we have some mutual friends like before this new group that we got, but Minister Morris, I think, is mutual friends, or I've seen you guys be in the same place to minister or something. So I'd seen your name a long time before I ever even met you. So it's just amazing how God just orchestrates stuff and brings it full circle. So congratulations to both you gentlemen. I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate, and I love what I see on the screen, a father and a son. You can tell they have that connection, you know, and I love that. We need to see more of that, young black men not, telling stay over there, don't it? No, we're making connections. We love to see the kids, the husbands, whatever come through because it's a family thing and we have to build strong families. And so I love what I'm seeing. And I definitely give you a shout out to both you men because you're making an impact. You're building men to be men and be stronger, but also be honest about where they are. So shout out to both of you. Of course, like JT said, he's here with us every fourth Monday. T Breeze, of course, now you're just part of the family. You're welcome anytime when you got something going on, when you're going to be in the neighborhood and you want us to talk about it on the show. Just send us a flyer and let us know because we definitely will give you a shout out. And so, y'all go search for his music. It's on all available platforms. And until next time, as always, we are making connections with Aly. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channel. If you missed the show live, go back and search the page. All our shows are still available on the Making Connections page. So go back, find it, share it, like it, and let's empower as many people as we can. But until next time, as always, we're leaving you with love, positivity, and good vibes. Have a great day, everybody. See you later, JT. Bye, Minister T Breeze. Bye, Deuce.